Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. You know, I'm a big fan of rounds like Underwood Extreme Penetrator and Fort Scott TUI. Now, these are solid copper rounds, and they're really high penetrating rounds, especially the Underwood Extreme Penetrators. You can get that from its name. It didn't get that name because, it's popular with the ladies. It got it because it actually goes through barriers, both hard and soft, extremely well. And I'm a big fan of these. Now, that has a lot of people nagging at me about, oh, you shouldn't carry those. They penetrate too much. If you're in a crowded space and you have to shoot at a bad guy, it's likely to go through them and hurt somebody else. I hear this all the time, and I've addressed this multiple times, but it seems like people still don't get the point, and they want to argue with me. Now, they don't want to argue with me in person, which I challenge anyone to do on this topic. Anyone who wants to take the counter position to me, please come into my live chats. There's one every night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Unless it's Monday or Wednesday, then it's 5 p.m. Pacific time. And that's Pacific time, remember that. You can come in and you can challenge me on anything I say, because I love contrary opinions. I like to debate, and I like to have a chance to change my mind or change someone else's mind. So come on in and actually argue with me face to face if you disagree with me on anything. This included. It's a challenge. Don't be a coward in the comment sections. Actually bring it like a man. But like I was saying, a lot of people say, oh, it's too powerful, it penetrates too much, and it's going to hurt other people. Now, most people understand why I like it, because it is very hard barrier resistant. It goes right through hard barriers pretty well. Like if someone's hiding behind a trash can, or they're inside of a vehicle and you have to shoot through glass, or you have to shoot from the inside of a vehicle through glass at someone, they are very high-performing rounds. People understand that. But they think that you have to compromise that when you choose your self-defense round, because if you're at the mall and you shoot someone that goes through them and hits someone behind them, you're liable for that. And here's the thing, yes, you are. But here's what I'm going to put forward here, and this is the part you can argue with me if you want, but I think you're wrong. I think that high-penetrating rounds, high-performing rounds like these are actually safer than lower-performing rounds. Rounds that don't penetrate as much, rounds that maybe spread out and slow down. They don't have as much oomph behind them, or they're not as solid and, penetrating and as effective as these solid copper rounds. They think you have to sacrifice a little bit of performance and penetration just to be safe. Well, I think it's the opposite, because here's the reality. One, there's very little evidence ever that overpenetration is even a possibility. Remember, these are still handguns. They're not long guns. They're not super powerful. The chance of a handgun round going through someone if you actually hit them and then doing damage to someone standing behind them, very slim. The chance that there's actually someone directly behind them, if they're actually in the act of like a murder or assaults or whatever you're having to take them down for, whatever they're doing, you have to stop them doing. The chance of someone being right immediately behind them is pretty slim anyway. But even if they are there, the chance of that handgun round, which is a relatively underpowered round compared to like a rifle or something, actually penetrating their body and exiting and still having enough power to hurt someone right behind them is very slim. There's very few through and through shots if you hit dead center mass on a human being. A lot of people have demonstrated this, like shooting pigs, etc. But so it's just very unlikely that's going to happen, period. But here's what is more likely in a situation like that. Though you're going to miss. And that is not really going to matter. If someone is standing right next to them or right behind them and you miss and hit the wrong person, you're still shooting the wrong person. So that, it doesn't matter what type of round you have. If it's capable of stopping the threat, it's going to stop the wrong person too. So overpenetration isn't your concern, accuracy is your concern. And if you're afraid to shoot because you're afraid to overpenetrate, you should definitely be paralyzed with fear about missing, because that's far more likely. But most people don't worry about that, so it's kind of silly to worry about overpenetration. And I've said this before. But here's where I think having a high-performing, high-penetrating round is actually safer than carrying a lesser-performing round. Because effectiveness. If you hit someone dead sternum with a high-performing round that goes right through that sternum, right through their heart, stops them with one shot, you've had one chance of missing. If you fire 3 shots, you get 3 chances of missing. 3 chances of missing. So for every time you have to fire an extra round after you don't stop them with the first round, and like I said, having a more powerful first round gives you a more of a chance of stopping them with your first shot. Every time you fire after that, you're increasing the chance of missing and hurting someone else. So having a round that is more likely to get the job done with one shot is far safer than having a lesser performing round that is more likely to get the job done in 2 or 3 shots. So higher penetrating, higher performing handgun rounds are better for self-defense, better for carry. They're even safer in crowds as far as I'm concerned because you have to shoot less often. You know, it doesn't take as many rounds. So that makes them better. So you don't have to compromise when it comes to your carry caliber. Choose the round you think gives you the best advantage if you have to shoot through glass, like automotive glass or plate glass at a mall or something. If you have to shoot through a trash can, let's say the bad guy's behind a trash can and he's shooting at you or other people. You want to be able to penetrate that trash can. You want to have that advantage. Stop giving away those advantages because of myths like overpenetration. If I can tell you one thing about it, that's it. Stop compromising when you don't have to. Don't compromise a real reality like having a round that performs better because of a myth like shooting through someone and hurting someone behind them. It's just not a thing you need to worry about when you choose your round. Don't worry about these old wives' tales or myths like overpenetration. Choose what round you think is best, period. Not a compromise of what you think is the best performance compromised by, being safer. When that's not really even being safer, as I just said. So in the end, choose the best round. Like I said, don't worry about stupid things like overpenetration. All right, now that I've said that, I just want to remind everyone out there that we are doing a fundraiser right now. We are doing a fundraiser for a cat rescue that was brought to me by a viewer. And for the life of me right now, I can't remember the name of the cat rescue, but I will put their logo, their little sign up in the side window here. They are doing a fundraiser right now. They're trying to raise $50,000. I think they're about halfway there, or not quite halfway there. And I want to help out a little bit. I want to try to raise at least $1,000 for them. So I am doing a Best Gun for Bigfoot design on several products that you can go over to tympistolproject.com. There's a link in the upper corner of this video and purchase. I think I've set every item over there where it makes $8 profit. So every time you buy anything, you're getting something and you're donating $8 to the cat rescue. I want to raise $1,000. I think the first day we did a little over 200. So we're on our way. So go on over there. Buy yourself a product over there, and I might cycle these out halfway through. So if there's an item you would like a hat or a sticker or something, let me know because I can cycle the items out halfway through. But for now, the items over there, I believe, are a man's t-shirt, a woman's t-shirt, a magnet, a mug, a 15-ounce coffee mug, and a camp mug. I ordered the 15-ounce coffee mug for me. So you go over, get whatever you want. Like I said, don't feel like you got to buy a lot of stuff. People always say, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't buy more. The fact that you did anything means that you're doing more than 99.95, or actually 99.975 of the people who watch my channel. Because out of the people who watch, it's less than 0.25% that actually get involved and help. So the fact that you do anything means you did a lot. So go on over, get yourself a Bigfoot item if you're a big Bigfoot fan like I am. I think everyone knows that. Bigfoot is like my Jesus. I choose to believe in him because I want to, and it makes me feel better. So go on over, get yourself an item, help a kitty cat in need. A lot of people are complaining about the name of the fundraiser, by the way, and I will change it partway through because people are like, oh, that's offensive to people. You should change it. But first, let me have my fun. Because right now it's called, I believe, the Yankee Marshall's Good Pussy Fundraiser. Save a good pussy cat in need. So go on over, participate. Like I said, link in the upper corner of this video. Help out some kitty cats in need and get yourself a pretty cool Bigfoot item. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Thanks very much for coming. I do appreciate it. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Until then, I just want to remind everyone to remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.